Hi everybody, my name's Cheri Hunt. I am going to talk about the truest, most beautiful story about your life. I know you had a little time with Christine just before the art part of it, so that's always my favorite part, listen to her and all the fun things about what we're going to do today. So I miss you guys, but it's great to be here. I just wanted to let you know that some different things, I'm going to pop it around to different tables today. Not doing too much art. I'm letting you guys come up with your own ideas with all the ideas I've kind of spilled out today. This time of year is my favorite, not only because of the changing of the fall, the changing of the seasons, but school supplies for back to school. Our composition books are usually what we use for our sketchbooks or journaling altered art. I thought for this, try writing the most beautiful story about yourself, the composition books have changed. They have unbelievable patterns, whether they're floral. This one is floral too, but it actually almost looks like alcohol ink. They're all going to have lines. If you want to just do your own, like we've done in our journaled art, you can just take a plain one and collage it with magazines. Your title of your book can be an ongoing list. So I usually have, just some ideas written down. You can kind of, I was at the Cancer Center yesterday and someone said something, I wrote it down. Someone had a quote on a t-shirt, I wrote it down. I saw a billboard, I wrote it down. So I've got some things going, which could either be the contents of your book or even some titles. Your title's going to change just as our seasons do for each of us, but it's nice to have a list to kind of pull from when you're doing that. Your contents are probably the first thing that you're going to do. So I'm going to show you some different ideas in some books. This is a book, Fierce Woman, Wake Up Your Badass Self. I've told you guys about this book before. It's a nice way to look at the contents here. It's set up in sections: mind, body, heart, and spirit. So you can break up your contents like that, do something for yourself as far as the timeline of your life or something like that. Here's another book. You can heal your life with the contents. We'll look at this one and see how this goes. Same thing. I love the idea of the colored pages, using some of your art here and there, and even doing a little border to just kind of bring out maybe some of the colors from the type of the font or something like that. So really, really awesome. And I love that they have just questions that you as a reader can answer, and also that the writer is letting us know about. So I have some different books here. The Book of Awakening is also a great book. This is written by Mark Nepo. It's done in different affirmations. So each day has a little bit of just a topic. It might have a quote or just a nice little intention, and then he writes just a little bit of a paragraph. So you could do something like that. Of course, Brene Brown, Rising Strong, she's got some great ways of breaking up the book too, by doing really awesome font, big pages, like we can't see it, it's going to be jammed into us. We love that. It's big and bold. These are things too that you could just kind of break up your book with, using different font for your chapters. I just read this by Glennon Doyle, Carry On Warrior. So I love this. She used fun, different fonts. You could use your art, cut it up and make your letters. It doesn't have to be, through a publisher. It's all about just opening up. I love that she has Be Kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And then she put, including you. I love that. So you can have that as a foreword. You can put a little quote, have pictures, things like that. This is a book that's out right now. It's a New York Times seller. Really fun. You can use your handprint as write on your hand. Take Sharpie, write on it. Use yourself. Use your scars. Use your pieces of yourself and incorporate it and collage it into your book somehow. This is kind of a nice way too. If numbers mean something to you, you can do a big number for your chapter and say, I am willing. There's a great quote in here about procrastination. Let's see if I could find it really quick. Oh my goodness. Life won't stop for pauses and procrastinations. It won't stop for your confusion or fear. It will continue right along without you. So I know some of us might be at a place where, oh my gosh, how could I start a book now? I'm this age, I've done this, I'm tired, I'm sitting on a couch, I just can't do it right now. Start where you are. Maybe it's just doing a chapter today. Maybe it's just doing a paragraph. It doesn't have to be a whole book. But just do what you can. And maybe it's just keeping the idea of our journal going, right? So I know we talked about some different things in journaling classes before, how you will present it. So I just went over kind of a couple different books. You could have it in a poem form, chapter, timeline, lessons, daily affirmations. I love the idea of using symbols. Spiral is my favorite. You could put that instead of a chapter 1. You could have different spirals, quotes, drawings, journal entries, recipes, bullet points, side notes, and framing is my favorite. As a kid, I remember reading a book and the beginning and the end would start at the same place. I love that. That's my favorite. Just finished this book. It's absolutely one of my favorites. I think at my age, just that transition and the metaphor, the transformation that happens is just, it's great. I love the cover. I love everything about it. I'm going to show you the kind of the contents a little bit, just real simple like that. But she also has some different little side notes as far as exploring. So exploring different songs, or here she has, some different little prompts that could help for journals. There's some recipes that she has. And like I said, the whole little side note of exploring, she's got books, she's got songs that will help you through trauma, a playlist that will help you with connection. So that's kind of a nice way too. And you could just break up your journal and do that. Really awesome. So why don't we head over here? Some pages in the book too. This was done by one of the participants that's in the class. So I'm not going to give you a shout out, but you know who you are. This could be a nice way of, if you have a topic to your chapter, instead of putting chapter 1, maybe this is in the contents, it would be your own kind of dream. So, and then you could do your art. So that could be a page in your book. I love this page 2. You could always just look through magazines. This is a small boy greeting the incoming tide. I think that's just an incredible picture. It could be for so many different things. It could be for someone who just finished radiation, or someone who's just walking out of the hallway and they've just finished chemo infusion, for so many weeks, and their arms are just about to jump up and just embrace what's to come. So I love that. The cover of your book could be a painted collage, drawing, jelly prints. This is one that was done by a participant. She loved gears, and I wanted to include her in this session. But she loved gears. I thought this would be a nice way to, for a cover of your book. It could be a page. Here's some crinkled paper that you could also do a little book binding and have that kind of crinkled look. You could paint that. You can take anything that you have. If you have chipboard at home, you can put holes in it, and you can have a book kind of going like this. It could be a page, for each day. It could be a small book where you do 7-day book, right, and just have one a day. This is just a little bit of mat board. You could have it in color or white. What you're going to do here is you're just going to have a little bit, I'm going to move into the light here. You're going to have just a little bit of decoration on it, whether it's paint. This is just a little bit of metallic acrylic, taking some circles, making some prints, and you're done with a book. What you do now is you just take paper and you glue on the inside here, and you'll glue on the inside, and you'll have an accordion fold. So it's a nice, easy book. Like I said, you could do one for each day of the week, but you could also flip it and you'll have the other side too. So it would be like a 14-day, or how many folds you have. In this one too, you could have little corners to put pictures in, collage, do stickers, anything like that. Okay, so that's kind of a fun one to do. And like I said, you would just take your paper and fold this like this. You can cut it, and you're just going to glue. You'll fold, and I'm actually going to you're going to cut this in half here, but you would fold, and then this would just be glued down. And then when you open it, you would have your pages. So something like that, okay? All right. Where it's a single file, though. I just folded it quick to show you, but it is single file. And if you want to make it a little bit longer, this is how you do that. If it wants to, you do 3 folds, and then you would just glue a piece here to another one. and you can make it as long as you want. It's fun for kids too to do a little scrapbook like that. If you don't want the cardboard outside, you could just have it with paper. This is just a paper cut. I folded it, and then I actually put acrylic on it and just kind of painted it with a credit card. And to get your color, let it dry in the sun, and then you're ready to start going with your words or pictures. If you want just a simple binder, you can do that. Whether it's a travel, you can just get a notebook too. With back to school, there's so many fun notebooks. Just get a binder like this. You could do a cover, and then you can just do some collage and have some fun tags sticking out for your pages to be maybe like your chapter or something like that. So that's kind of a fun little way. I cut this out because I think in one of Christine little handout, she said slay your inner dragons, or maybe it was from the book that I just read. But I cut this out because sometimes we have to slay our inner dragons to kind of get that going and turn that up before we can actually put ourselves in a book. If you do want to start writing a book, like I said, just keep making lists. I'm actually thinking about writing a book. I've got like 2 that I'm kind of working on. One of them might be on grief. This might be the cover. This is a friend of mine, Greg Chapman. He's an art teacher at East High School, St. Charles East High School. He gave me that. It's called Comfort. So you can do simple drawings too. If you can't write right now and you're blocked, if you're stuck, just do some simple drawings. He does a little 5-minute piece of art every day, and just getting that going is going to be able to just get you going and be unstuck and slay your dragons and get your words and your thoughts down on paper. Start where you are and bloom where you've been planted. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.